All right. There we go. So, I do love design and everything around it. So, this is probably gonna. There. Probably still stuff. Anyways, want to do. I paid for it, but there's just something that's kind of like holding me back right now, in terms of life, I guess. And generally, what happens is that figure out exactly what's going on, or why, or something. Things that are pretty much going wrong one. Whoops. First thing is that I'm here, I'm square, I'm awesome. But I guess the first thing is like surrounding like fame and yes, surrounding fame and recognition, I guess. So the big thing that I'm looking at, that's kind of like hanging around my head constantly, like the thing that I always like think about right now at least, is this idea that like this space of Twitch and of YouTube and of really anything, you, while I am talking to no one generally, the only person that I watch over myself to see the levels of everything, to see if everything's good, no one's watching this right now. I guess this is just like a, it's weird. There's the fact that I am not talking to anyone right now, but I'm talking to someone. It's out there. There's at least that, so there's at least a little bit of hesitancy with me. That's why I'm not talking at my full level of volume. On my little period right now, but I guess, is it better to be oh my god. Yeah, is it better to be unprepared for fame and get it, or prepared and never? That's kind of like where I sit right now. It's like, I have the things, I have the mental preparation for some of these things, at least as much as I can. Is it better to just go in and do your own thing and happy in that? Or is it better to, you know, still do that, but prepare for what things might happen later on? And I think what I'm actually struggling with is that, oh god, is that I'm not necessarily preparing for the known future. I'm creating my I'm creating a creating like a different future that's like not possible. I guess alternate reality, and preparing for that. So, you know, I think it, you know, it's not necessarily the fact of like, are you preparing for something that might come, and therefore you're better, you're well off, you have the ability to take more chances and everything like that. I bet that if everyone could prepare for the future that will happen, things would be so much nicer, so much more, so much different. It'd almost be like seeing into the future and being able to know what the future is, and um, having a better time with it. But if everyone could do that, then it would be the same as it is right now, but it would be less stressful. Maybe. Well, if some of us could. I guess that's the thing, is that there are people who are on these services that don't prepare and they kind of just do their own thing, and then there's people that over prepare. And so it's not necessarily the fact that like it's not the fact that it's not good um to prepare for something, or it's not good, it's not that it's not good to be unprepared, but my thing is that I'm preparing for the wrong future, or I'm uh, is it in preparing for the wrong future, or am I preparing for the wrong future, or am I a lot of these things go in my head at 3,000 miles an hour to get them to speak sometimes. So I could be preparing for the wrong future, and then I could also be putting myself into like this one, putting myself into an alternate reality. That's where I go crazy. That happened once in like 2018, 2019, and like at least once in 2020, is that I got into this perception that I was living a life that was just slightly happy. Not the fact that I was going outside necessarily in this reality. It was the fact that all these certain things about all these specific aspects that I hold dearly about my life and about the environment around me were just slightly better, when in fact they weren't. And I was living in this reality that true necessarily, it wasn't false. So it was this kind of like gray area of not wrong, right? You're hoping for a new future, but you're not living in the one that's current to you, and you're not bettering yourself in that one to even get to it. I'm just kind of like moving around in this like bubble and kind of passing time, feeling happy because nothing else. So there's a good thing about that. It's like the whole point about hoping for a future is to build yourself up to get to that future, not to just sit and want and be a baby and grasp for things. No, you need to do something. So I guess I'm definitely on the side of trying to prepare for things. But the whole thing about being unprepared for fame and getting it is you get these people who are genuine, totally genuine, and they're just here to do simple things like meet cool people and have friends, or express things that they don't get to express very often, or do things in a medium that they wanted to try but never got the chance to. You get these really pure interactions with these people, and they're not prepared for fame. They have some trials and tribulations, and it kind of makes it better. They screw up, and then it's caught on tape, and then it goes all over the internet. And not a terrible screw up, but it's just something that I kind of like laugh at. Oh, they didn't know what they're doing. That's what most of. So I guess being unprepared is good, but it's mostly for being genuine. So if you could, I guess if you can be genuine, attempting to prepare, or at least finding the current reality that you're in, current situation, bettering your future prospects, I guess, is the goal. So my issue is that I take away genuine aspects of myself, like talking at full volume, being loud and dramatic and spastic, I guess. I'm fine with calling myself that way. I'm still very much not focused on anything, but like that thought was. But I guess I'm putting myself in this reality of wanting it. Like, what do I get? Like, the whole. So, yes, I figured this out. Great. I should be less prepared. But if I still have the want to be prepared, then I should look at where I am currently and how can I better this specific moment, not necessarily looking towards the future. But I guess the issue that I fall in line with right now is so is there's all these little pieces, parts of the plan that of my life that I would love to, I bet everyone who streams or does any sort of media or life production generally have the idea that I want to be able to do this all the time. I want to be able to do it full time for money, because the world. Anyways, money, do it for fun, and we'll do it for fun. So do it for money. Do it all the time. I would love to design all the time. But not necessarily do that all the time. But like, I guess be myself all the time. There's always the fact that we like give ourselves facade. Oftentimes, like you can be yourself, but it's not like you're gonna be loud and bombastic in a classical hall or music hall. You do have to curtail yourself a little bit to your surroundings every here and there. But sitting here right now, ironically, I can be the most myself, even though I'm not talking full volume, even though I'm kind of listening to who's upstairs or if my parents are gonna happen next. It's like this type of space, I guess, is the most likely to be able to give me to be myself. And so a lot of these creators, I guess, in finding the space that they can be totally themselves, is that you want it, you want to do it, you want to do it all the time. And I guess my goals are past that. So I'm not even able to speak to an audience. I'm not able to even, fully be myself right now. I'm looking too far ahead. Ugh. So oh, I suck with this. I want to fully be myself. Did I just really do this? Be here full time. Dine full time. That's like how I fully be here in this space, in this type of space. Design full time. I think that's the big thing, the big three. Oh, make money doing it. Oh, that's the big one. That's the big thing. But then I also want to just make friends. I like people and meet cool people. but that just generally means anyone. But then after that, I want to be in a suitable environment. Slash environment. I also want to be fully immersed in the culture. Not necessarily like Jesus. Not necessarily like, you know, acting the way that everyone else acts, but I want to be in it so that I can see all the little paths away, and this meets up to this, and this goes over here, and I want to see that visually. Then I also, my far reaching, because I want to be able to take the community I would create and use it, have them help with personal designs. So I want to be able to make something or make something on stream and then produce it and have it out in the world. Have something that betters people's lives through and through out in the world, because that's, I mean, what a designer wants. So you don't, there's people who do it who just design to see the thing on a page, not out in public. Depends on what but I wanna be able to, if I'm not gonna be working at a traditional job or design, if this is gonna be a full-time thing, that love for something like that to happen, I'm gonna want to create things. I'm gonna want to be able to do that, and I feel like through a community would be. And then there's the far-reaching stuff, which is like make an island. That is a reality. Oh, not and make an island. To I want to take the floating garbage patch out in Atlantic Pacific, and I want to gather all the garbage, all the plastic, compress them into cubes, use those cubes to more or less be the land of a floating city, and then live out there, of course. Why not? But that'd be so. Hold on. Hi. Anyways. Oh jeez. Alright, so yes, I want to make an island. And I want to live in it, and I want to make it perfect. Like anyone. I want to be carefree. I am not carefree right now. I mean, I can be, and I can definitely that idea. Maybe not right now. I'm a little uptight right now, but yeah, I'm looking at all these things and I want to do all these things. When in fact that if anything, I should be looking at my current situation. Yeah, I don't dream in ways that other people dream. Human recognition. Yes. Yes, good top. This one. I feel like I don't dream like regular people. Like I live in my dreams sometimes, like my wishes and wants of what I want to do. It's because it just, why would you want to work towards something if you can already have it? Even though like the reason why you work towards something is because it feels good to work towards something. But whenever I dream in this way where I have the thing that I want, but then I come back to reality and I don't have it, it creates enough duality to where I don't have to wish for it anymore. I'm just within it and then not within it. I'm like Schrodinger's cat. So it feels that like working towards something of nearly having it, almost having it, kind of not having it, almost gonna have it, maybe have it. And it does it really well. And then I just sit in the dream. For an hour every day, I just sit in the dream and I'm loving it. It sucks because every time I come back, I'm like, I don't have this and I'm not any closer to getting it. Ugh. So I think my issue is that I sit in these dreams far too long. And then I also am reaching really far ahead. So what I need to do is I need to look at my current situation, leave the dreams, as wants, I guess. And I need to look at where I am right now. I have no viewers. Jesus. No viewers. No community. And basically no interaction, but like no accurate understanding of streaming reality. I can read, I can watch, I can see, but it just doesn't feel connected right now, which is one of the things that I looked at before. So what I need to do is I need to market myself as a streamer and show up regularly. I need to have a platform that is inclusive to form a group of regulars. I need to have that ability. I need to have that thing that's normal, I guess. And then no accurate understanding of streaming reality. I need to do this for at least a year. A year consistently, and attempt to be within it, live within it, live within it. That's what I need to do right. Before, I was thinking, oh, is it better to be prepared or unprepared? It's like, well, good to be both, the sense of being unprepared is to be genuine, and the sense of preparing is not to think of it solely as a business plan. I would be selling myself. I'd be a prostitute, more or less, if I were to think of it that way. I don't really think about it that way. Moreover, I shouldn't think about it that way. So it should be something where I'm genuine, something where I like doing it. But outside of the actual stream process, or outside of the actual streaming, like 1 to 5 when I want to be streaming, except I wake up at 5, I should, whenever I'm not streaming, I should then view it as a business prospect. Because it is. And I need to be able to market myself for these live times. It's not the fact that, like, when you see a musician on stage, I don't really see musicians on stage. No. Not a big one, at least. When you see a musician on stage, they're not, this happy-go-lucky person who plays guitar or whatever, and all the time. It could be, But generally, they're going to get off stage, cool off, and market them. Be within the element. So, you know, there is this part of me that's like that wants that. I mean, I guess there's a psychological understanding of like, if I want this too hard, I'm not gonna get it, and I'm gonna bring upon me what is it? What's it called? Ulstrom? No. Anyways, I'm gonna bring upon me a mountain of discouragement and disappointment. So simply wanting it is not a solution, and dreaming for it isn't really either. So yeah, just slowly dream. But not being aware of what's going on is not a good idea either. But it turns out I'm doing both. Is that I'm not really aware of what's going on and how to market myself in this beginner area, and beginner, and I'm wishing too hard. I should simply be here. What do I want? For people. Okay. Music suddenly just. Is that me? It was me. The other part is that, like, man, my parents were talking about, like, I'm gonna get a job hopefully soon. In design, is that probably what will most likely, what is probably going to happen in a few months. Is that, yeah, maybe I might get a couple of recurrent viewers, or maybe no viewers, or whatever. But whatever this thing is will be going on. I will get a job somewhere. And my parents are like, oh, stay nearby, we're old and fragile, which they're not. But they just want to be nearby me. It's like, oh, it's so fun hanging out with you, but it's like, I don't like living with you guys. It's not like the prospect of living with your parents where, oh god, you know, living with, I'm that kind of guy. I don't care about being that kind of, I am that person. Why would I not be my, anyways, they want me to be nearby because they like being around. I don't like living with them, and I don't like really living near them specific. And the whole oh my god, the whole idea of like, don't turn your back on family. It's like, don't be the type of person that I would turn my back on, and I won't turn my back on you. It's like, I hate the whole idea of like, family is family because family is family. It's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if you're a dickhead, I'm not gonna want to be around you. If you're an undesirable person, I'm not gonna want to desire you suddenly because, oh my god, you birthed me. Thanks, I guess. Yes, I am ungrateful for that fact. You make me ungrateful for being an asshole. I don't like the prospect of stay together because, oh, like, no, no. You should be a good person and have it so that other people want to be around you. So I want to live far away, not because like I don't want to interact with them. It's like internet and FaceTime, and like you can watch TV shows together cross continent. There's no issue of interaction. Maybe like type of interaction might be a little different because there's no like physical being. You're not near them physically, but you know, they're basically right now the reason why I'm not talking. I don't want to be noticed by that in this aspect. because this is me, totally just me, and I would much rather be talked with and interacted with by people I don't know than people I do know. That's like a really weird, I think, difference in like how I see the world, is that I have a harder time talking to a therapist that I know and than I do with talking with someone, a therapist that I just met. If there's something that I haven't shown someone, it's harder to do that when I don't know, because there isn't an assumption of judgment or type of judgment that they would have versus someone that I have no idea who they are. And so how my parents have known me for as long as I live, I guess, but they don't know me as me because I don't show them and don't to show, because they're not the type of people that would be not necessarily inclusive, but accepting. They wouldn't really accept. They are very much the type of person who change passive aggressively. My mom's like very zen and like, oh, do what you do and life will follow you, blah blah blah, nothing godly or anything. She's very much like, oh, don't listen to that person, listen to me. Whenever there's advice to be given, and it's like, oof, I don't want to listen to you. Your advice is accurate. Your advice is 30 years old. It's not relevant. And so I can't talk to her directly because there's always this midst of passive aggressiveness. And my dad just does whatever my mom says. So I can't really be volume. I can be my full self. That's part of the reason why I just say is I want the prospect of talking to random people that I have no connection to, because that's awesome. Finding like people that are just awesome outside that you thought were just someone you walk next to, on the street or something like that, or someone you pass by a lot because the timing of your lives just add up. Talking to those people isn't. I want to be around them. I don't even know where this came from. What happens when these are like the thousands of thoughts like just kind of like whizzing by, and my brain's like, that's cool. Over there, that's awesome. Like, I try to do one thing, fame and recognition, but I get into like so many other things, and I guess that's fine because our lives aren't just one thing. Fame and recognition, life with parents, design, and dividing it up is easier to specifically look into that, but more often than not, when you look into something, it's tied to everything else because it is your life. We don't just do one thing for one day. We don't just breathe one day and then we're done breathing. So then we go drink one day, and then then we move our finger like this for one day. That's multiple things. Where was I? Mark. This is my current in terms of stream. So I need to just. It's gonna be so hard. I wanted to start streaming regularly at least like a year ago. Yeah, it was a year ago. Like summer 2020, no one's doing anything, no one's going outside. I wanted to start, and I wanted to do it my last year of college and in more of a decent state. The unfortunate thing is that like this isn't gonna have more viewers in a year. I mean, that's not even a guarantee, God, it's nearly 5. There's no guarantees in this. And I guess that's true in life. Very true for me. I mean, 2 p.m. today. So, there's this idea that like, you don't make it now, you're not gonna make it. Or that guess is a contradicting idea that you just keep doing it, eventually someone will find you. I guess the thoughts that are always floating around is like, what if you do this consistently and you try to market successfully for 10 years? No one's listening. You've been on this app for, dude, then you can make a compilation of it. Well, then you don't have an audience to reach. Like, is it a waste? You want something? And it's not a waste because I've been able to get to a point where I'd be able to buy one, use one, and live within that community. But you can't accumulate viewers like you accumulate money. Yes, you can buy viewers, robo viewers. That's not the same thing. It's like you want people that live within your community for a little bit. Back and then morale is like carrying of pollen. My channel is pollen to people's comings and goings. So I guess I'm stumped. I'm scared, I guess, the prospect of doing this, because I have no idea. It's just kind of weird. I have no idea how to be with it. Probably need to look into stuff like Tinder. Into starting streaming for what will happen if I do this consistently with a consistent schedule for 5 years? Probably by then I'll have a job, I'll at least have a decent amount of experience in design. I will maybe have moved jobs, moved to do something else, a little more towards my skill set, my idea. I'll more than likely have friends, more than likely have a decent amount of experiences, and I'll be worrying about things that are in time. Life will be good. Maybe someone will encourage me to start my own product or something. I'll do it myself. But I'll still be doing this, I feel. It can be progressive. It doesn't have to be playing video games a bunch, you know. I mean, it could be that also. But I feel like with this, it gives me that kind of push to be productive in the way that I want to be. Playing video games can still be productive. I guess productive towards design. I want to be doing. Yeah. So I guess the thing that I have to really look for in terms of my current situation is I have to be within it. Is that to be present, because in being present at where I am, I curb my glory for fame. I can look at that at a different day. I have to be present, because in doing so, I won't dream too far ahead. I'll understand what's going on here. I will be genuine, because whenever I'm present, I'm genuine. And I'll sell that business aspect because I like selling things. Sell myself. So this is not necessarily fame and recognition. It would be lectures. Yeah. And recognition. More of fame in the future. There we go. That's a good desktop schedule that I don't follow. Curb that for now. Yeah. That was good. Usually when I'm like usually when I'm like thinking about difficult stuff, I guess trying to slow down my thoughts enough, or not even slow down my thoughts. I guess whenever I'm trying to think about things, my life, or whatever the fuck, oftentimes I don't speak fully. And I've been trying to speak more fully because then I can understand what I'm saying, because I have this like mind speak. And then I also have it's like fast thoughts. So I am generally the person to talk out loud, but not generally. I am a person who talks out loud. What I do. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, and normal. But it's a little different when I'm working through problems, because oftentimes when I'm working through problems, I'll talk and I'll talk fast about something that I'm looking at, and then yeah, generally. So I'll say something in my head but not vocalize, and it's kind of difficult to vocalize everything, because the reason why I internalize it is because it's a different idea. It's something that's like someone responding to a comment that and it feels weird to have that out loud, or it's thought that goes like a million miles an hour, but I can comprehend it, but I can't speak it. Talk fast, but not that fast. Oh, this is fun. Well, this is fun. This is just my hands. Ah. I have like a little our basement floor is not even, and there's like a bump right here, right where my chair is. I want to get as close as possible. Like, although my camera line is right here, it is tilted a little bit just to be able to, as I'd be sure. So I want to be close so that I can be like in the middle of the camera frame, but I can't sometimes. I'm just stuck on a ridge. Like lecture style things are just like me getting better at vocalizing, write down my thoughts while it goes over. I might have to refresh them, probably. Look back at old ideas and look into them, or change them, or alter them, or make them better, you know. I don't really have any things. I haven't really time to design right now. I have to do Uber 5 minutes, and I guess I ate. Anyways, something that's kind of fun that I'm trying not to show, but I'm trying. As a designer, I have, well, this is only like a portion of it. It's like only parts that I like wrote down like last year. I write on to correctly myself, but it's always a little fun to like look through. I have a document on my laptop. Yes. It has like at least like 3,000 different ideas over the years. Yeah, that's accurate. Like about 10 to 12 years. That's interesting to look back. And I have to to wake up before noon. I don't know. I have to wake up at 9. Hopefully, because that's difficult for me. It really shouldn't be. It is. Wake up early. Gotta be like so I can get away from my parents. And then, I have to at least figure out what the hell I was thinking of, 12 years ago when I wrote down something, and then sketch it out so I have a better understanding, so that I can have 3,000 or less fleshed out ideas, not fleshed out, but like concepts, and then I can work off of that. So it's not even the fact that like I have to make 3,000 different sketches, but it's not even the fact that I'm looking at the full idea of it, just the beginning. So like looking through this like booklet is because it gets me like, oh, it's so fun to draw. It's like a lot of these things are more complex because of it. And so it'll be nice working through all my old ideas, because then I can get rid of the rust in my sketching ability. And then right, so these are going to be like, all these are going to be sketched in like I think I also have to get used to the prospect of being older when I do things. There's so many streamers and YouTubers and people that are my age, if not a little younger, that are successful. They're doing their thing. And I have to recognize that I'm not looking at age. I can't. I'm looking at when they start. When they started, what was it like? Probably the same thing. No one's here. No one's doing anything. No one's listening. It is just me. And while I could play video games and be like, hey, check out my... Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm about design. Video games is like, yeah, I'll, stress reliever, sure, why not? But, who I am more focuses on design and system design and designing your life, life-centered design, like this stuff. So I feel like it makes it that much harder, as I have to market myself in a very different way, different mediums in order to build. Video games is an easy way. Probably still very different. Anyways, I'm just gonna look at this for a minute. It's 5 already. Here at least. Here in the Midwest. Oop. I know this is not streamer friendly, but no one's here. Like, a lot of these are really good, and then just for how dumb I am. Oh yeah, need that one. Ooh, okay. So this one, a clear mask you put on your face to practice makeup tutorials. You want to like do it, and it would probably not be a clear mask. It would probably be like, it would be something where instead of you're doing it on someone, you're doing it like in front of someone, or like in front of a head that's like right next to you or something like that. You're getting the muscle memory of doing it. On the parts of your areas conducive towards your face shape, so that you cut here and you do it there, and then uniform to your face, so that you get a better idea of your face, or at least with kind of interesting. And it's one of those things that's like, I'm not within the environment of the makeup industry, or like I've done makeup on myself once and once on another person, so I'd have to be within it. I'd have to question people who do it professionally, and then I'd have to or like not question people, like look at beginner stuff, and then I also have to look at people who are beginners, people who were kind of medium self-taught, But it's an thing that's different. Could also be the fact that it exists already and I'm an idiot. But I'm not in the industry. That's the cool thing. There's when I usually live in an apartment, but there's it's really weird. I have artwork, or like other people's art, and then I'll also have like posters, and then everywhere else there's I keep on my computer. Oh, if I ever get into like it doesn't block and I feel like I can't do anything. Keep a positive mental attitude. Work on sketching, Photoshop, and in micro amounts. Make peace with your maker. Recognize your fear and then go 3D. That's a big thing. That works. And oftentimes, but I'll have just, and it's my own handwriting too. It's not like printed out. Just like scribblings on the wall. I mean, even if the apartment is like colored, and it looks like sometimes I'm just drawing on is to myself to let myself know what's going on and one of them is you know, if you wait long, it's something along the lines of like, if you wait long enough someone else will do it. And I've thought of ideas without ever touching certain this would be a really good idea. I see this problem, people should have this solution. Do a quick search, oh god, there it is, but they're not doing it. And so there's the other like side of it. It's like, well, I guess discovered something that already exists. There's the understanding of, well, why aren't people doing it? Is it an issue expensive? Is it an issue of not knowing about it? How do you solve that problem? You know, how is it still a problem? Why hasn't this product solved it? Looking into that deeper, you usually find something that's can be improved upon and you can work from it. So it's not all a loss, but it's still interesting that like having no perception of what the hell's going on, I'm able to make design something, like fleshed out product that is identical to something else that already exists. So that kind of like me sitting on like 3,000 ideas, like some of them are just crossed off over the because people don't know what to do. I have people figure out, oh my god, this is a really, I guess part of it is the fact that like I don't have a fully fleshed out applications, but like I also don't have a medium in which I can make them. Sure, Kickstarter exists, but I don't know how to do the manufacturing. Buying things, I just don't know how to. I don't know where to go for them. I don't know which industry or which studio or whatever. I don't know any of it. Find it. Because if it was easy to find, then a lot of people already do it. But God, if everyone could find manufacturing. So many shitty. A lot still do, but well, it's the end. I guess learn today is what I learned yesterday, effectively. Today, it's trying to keep present, not thinking too far ahead, not, you know, sitting with those, recognizing more. I am in a basement, there's a window over there, little kids looking. I'm here. No one's listening, no one's watching. I'm the only one here, right? How do I change? Don't wish for, don't hope for being with, near, around, associated with other creators. How do I get out of here? How do I get out of my basement? My parents' basement. What do I do? Stream consistently. Get up before 1 o'clock and prepare everything. I have to do everything before 1. Go 1 to 5. Designing, talking, whatever. Stream consistently. I have to find out how to market myself. I have to be courageous enough to market myself. Getting consistency and longevity. I have to be doing this type of thing, constantly be micro working on it for a long time. I've been doing this for 2 days. And I think that I should be, you know, somewhere magical. Not works. I need to be doing this. And if I want to be doing this, I will be doing this. Hopefully I will hour